Frank, just on Stanley, as he walked out, he said, hopefully that he played well enough that he'll kind of be back here next year. Just wondering what you made of his season, how important it was when he first came in, the size and kind of length he has on the wing, and then how would you evaluate him?
Yeah, obviously all the offseason questions will be answered in the offseason, but Stanley has really been, giving us a big lift this year. His toughness, how hard he plays, the physicality that he plays with, the hustle that he plays with, is something that this group really needed. And, obviously it's reflective in the role that he carved out for himself right away. When we signed him, he came in and, played a ton of minutes for us. And, obviously it was a big part of the win tonight. And, obviously, like I said, the offseason decisions will be made then, but he's made a case for himself for sure.
And just what stood out to you tonight about this game, Frank, and the balanced effort and just
team win. 8 guys in double figures. We guarded finally, especially in the fourth quarter. Held them 19 points. That's one of the things that we've struggled with. While we were in this losing streak, not closing out games defensively, and our guys sat down and guarded and got enough stops to secure the win.
Stanley was describing a feeling of just being mad about how the tail end of the season went and not living up to the team's potential. And I'm assuming there are other players on your team who might feel that way. Is that refreshing to hear, that there are guys in your locker room who just aren't accepting what's happened so far and still want to compete out the rest of the year?
For sure. The care factor was high. We didn't win enough, but, this group, carried the proper edge when we didn't win. And brought it into the next game. We stayed fighting all the way down the stretch. We just didn't win enough, but the care factor was high. And to hear that someone wanted to just go out, and myself included, said I don't care if we're eliminated or not. Like, we've lost 8 straight games. It's time to get a W. And I was happy with how our group played.
Frank, you kind of just touched on that there, but I mean, can you describe just sort of the emotional impact of losing on somebody who is working so hard to win, and just what was that feeling like tonight to streamers come down to look at a happy crowd and a happy team, a feeling that you probably wish you guys had a lot more of this year?
Yeah, it was a good night. It was a fan appreciation night. Our fans were able to be treated to a W. All of our group, we had a lot of fun on the bench. We enjoyed the game. There's a lot of joy in basketball that really hasn't been with us a lot of this year because of what we were competing for and what we were falling short, too often with. So just a good night for our group to enjoy the game and enjoy a W.
Frank, just a little bit bigger picture here, considering the impact Stanley's had since he came here, and we've all seen it. Is there something to be said about the stage of a player's career that would make him more likely to fit as a role player? In terms of age, in terms of stature in the league, and what he provided, Wenyen provided, Austin provided, some of the younger guys, that having guys like that are important in building out a program?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you want people to be able to come in and start in their roles, and sometimes that means a veteran player that's taking a lesser role. Sometimes that means a rookie player that is like Austin, who comes in and has a bright future ahead of him. But for this year's team, he's a role player. And I had Paul George as a rookie, and he was the 5th scoring option on our team until Danny Granger went down, and then his role changed. So I think Stanley's in a place right now where he went through his rookie contract, had some success, but didn't the last couple of years didn't have a lot of success. And for him to be in the minor leagues to start the season, have another chance to get back after it, and came in with a refreshed spirit. Sometimes that's the best time to get a guy who's really in his prime and can come in and be a star as a role player, and because those guys are extremely valuable. When we had our championship run, we had several guys starring in their roles as role players, and I do see that with Stanley Johnson.
with the way things have transpired the last week or so, you guys out of the playing game, what's been the benefit of having your coaching staff all stay together and put together game plans?
You mean down the stretch here?
Just down
or-
the stretch here, despite everything that's going on, knowing that you're not going to the playoff or the playing game, what's been the benefit of having the staff stick together?
Oh, you just honor the game. My staff has been amazing all year. You know, it's been a very difficult season, and I've seen a lot of situations where, you know, there's, you know, internal turmoil because of the lack of winning, and our group has really stayed together. They stayed to the process of working with our players on development and integration and trying to get the pieces to fit together. And, you know, my assistant coaching staff has done just a phenomenal job in a difficult season. So that hasn't changed. Once we got eliminated, you know, we let our video guys have a little more responsibility with the scouts to help them develop. But, you know, the work was, you know, remained at a super high level. The preparation for these games has honestly been no different than the preparation for the first 79 or whatever it was. And it resulted in a win tonight.
Frank, you talked about the joy in basketball. Mason Jones went crashing into the front row twice. You know, an opportunity that he probably wouldn't have had if you guys were where you thought you would be at this point in the season.
Right.
Just what did you kind of make of his opportunity, and what kind of joy do you take from seeing him get that moment?
Well, that's one of the most fun parts of the job is when you have a minor league guy that gets a call up at any point in the season. It could be early in the season because you have injuries, or in this situation here, you know, those guys get an opportunity to play in the NBA games and contribute. He played 43 minutes last night, you know, for South Bay. So he's coming in exhausted today. And, you know, we threw him out there, and he played really well. And he showed all the hustle and fight. Like, this is what, you know, these guys' basketball journeys is all about, is opportunities like tonight. So there is a lot of joy in that, and I was happy for him to have the night that he had.